I'm talking to you guys about my 3 favourite bookshops in London and why I absolutely love them and I think why you should support them. Now before we start, I want to say there's a lot of bookshops popping up in London that kind of have this feeling of trying to copy the big retailers. There's one in particular that I visited yesterday and it's just trying to do a carbon copy of Waterstones, and I'll be honest, I don't like that. I like when independent bookstores have a very specific feel about them, and these are 3 bookshops that I love in London. They're all independent and I just need you to go. I've spoken about these bookshops before in videos in the past. This video where I've walked around parts of London and kind of visited the bookstores and gave my own opinion. I know at least one person actually went to all of those bookstores because of that video, so thank you for that, and you can go watch that video as well. It's going to be linked above and in the description, but let me talk to you about 3 that I absolutely love and why I think you should visit them. And if you want to find a way to support independent bookstores and you're unable to get to one yourself, in the description down below is going to be a link to my bookshop.org shop. Bookshop.org works with smaller independent booksellers to get them a kickback whenever you buy a book through them, and for posterity, I also get a kickback from bookshop.org when you buy through them as well. Number 1 is Scoob. Scoob, which is books backwards, which took me a very long time to realise, is an independent bookstore in Brunswick, which is a really, in my opinion, just a beautiful, like, brutalist building that was built for housing, and in the middle there's shops and little community areas and spaces for people to sit. It's just a really nice place, and I wish there were more of them, not just in London but around the country, because I think, you know, with the housing crisis, it's a great place to, you know, build a small community. There's a lot of nice places to go. I went to Fatty Cat, which unfortunately is actually shutting down the week after this video is going out, which is sad. But if you are in London, I recommend you go there and get their coffee. It is incredible. The house blend, the guy who makes it is so good. And if I can go before they shut down for good, I'm going to try and be like, dude, where are you going to go work next? Because I want your coffee. But it is so good there. But anyway, onto the bookshop, Scoob Books. It is at the back of Brunswick, and it's kind of like underground. So you enter and you go down a flight of stairs, and it's just, it's like the old bookshop that you imagine when you think about like an independent small bookshop. They've got loads of books everywhere, politics, philosophy, history, they've got maths, they've got nature, they've got fiction. And because it's so close to the University of London, there's a lot of books that if you're a university student looking for certain books or certain texts, you're going to be able to find them. They've got a whole section for the orange penguin books. They've got a section for like the blue penguin paperback books. That's a lot of similar sounding words I just said there. And they got postcards, got beautiful postcards from all across the world. I really, really like it in there. I wish I'd taken photos when I last went, but I was very busy, and I don't like taking photos in places where there's people, you can see their faces and stuff, and having to blur them. But if I can find images, they're going to be throughout this. But it is a really nice place to go. You're not going to, you know, get more specific, like, text, because the other 2 shops are slightly more specific in what they give. But this is something, if you're like a student, you should definitely check them out, because they'll probably have a lot of text that you might be looking for. They've got a decent sized philosophy section as well. The sci-fi and fantasy section isn't huge, because I was there looking for certain books, and there was one book that was there I wasn't looking for, but My Queen was there, so I picked that up whilst I was there last time. But honestly, really nice place, and it just feels like it is, because it's underground, it's got that really, like, you know, that feeling where everything's on top of you and the bookshelves go quite high. So I recommend it. It's really nice, again, and it's near Russell Square in London. It's near UCL, or at least some of the UCL campuses. It's near SOAS. And you can, you know, you can go to the Brunswick Centre, you can, you know, shop there, you can get some nice food or whatever from there, you can go to the Curzon, that's there as well. I'm basically doing an advert for Brunswick. Someone send this to someone who works for the council or something there, and tell them that I've done a really great promotion for them. But again, I highly, highly recommend checking out Scoob. And it's nice, it's in Brunswick anyway, and you should visit there regardless if you're in London, because it's It's a nice place. Next up is Houseman's. Houseman's is one of the oldest radical bookshops in London or the UK, and it's a non-for-profit bookshop, and basically so many grassroots movements have operated out of Houseman's at some point in their history. It's really awesome, and even just reading about them is a great thing as well. So you can, I mean, even the Wikipedia page is quite informative. Wikipedia is a source. I'm saying it is because it's a source. But I also recommend Houseman's. It's near King's Cross. It's about a 5-minute walk from King's Cross station. So if you're visiting London, you'll probably... King's Cross, if you're coming from a certain part of London, you're probably going to be in... Sorry, a certain part of the UK, you're going to be in King's Cross anyway. And, you know, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I guess you're in King's Cross or whatever. But you're going to be in the King's Cross area, and you can go to Houseman's. They've got radical literature. They've got oftentimes have like a really good sale on of specific kinds of books. Recently there was one from a UCL lecturer who basically donated his library to Houseman's, and they were selling them. Everything was under £5. I picked up a couple of books for like £2 each or £2 or £3 each. Really, really great. They have a whole section which is just £1 books as well. Those are mostly like older books. Sometimes they are you know, editions of older magazines and stuff. Their shop does more so, you know, go with radical themes, you know, LGBTQ plus ideology stuff, the, you know, anti-fascism, anti-racism, pro-anarchist books. So that's where you're going to really find those sort of things. They will have kind of like the newer releases as well, which is quite cool. And they do have a section on like different parts of the world as well. It's not the biggest, but it is pretty good as well. I recommend it. They also sell other things like white poppies, like merchandise for grassroots movements as well. They pay a national minimum wage as well for everyone. So really great. I highly recommend them. I think they're the first radical bookstore I ever went to. I think my friend took me there, who was the person who kind of got me into doing radical reading. Really recommend it. Whenever I'm in that part of London, I always make an effort to go to Houseman's. It is for myself a little bit out of the way because it's King's Cross is like further east than I usually go in London. But if you are going to be in London, you're probably going to be in the King's Cross, Camden area anyway. And then from Houseman's, you can walk to other parts. You know, you can go to Coal Drop Yard. It's a nice place to like sit. There's some small independent businesses there you can go and support as well. In the summer, they show a movie, so it's really cool. And that's about a 10-minute walk from Houseman's, or like, yeah, about 10 minutes from King's Cross as well. So I recommend going to that area anyway. And finally, my favourite bookshop, Bookmarks. I speak about Bookmarks all the time. I should somehow do some sort of collaboration with Bookmarks at this point. Bookmarks is another radical bookstore, also a socialist bookshop. They have all sorts of socialist texts, all sorts of radical texts. They have a slightly bigger world section than Houseman's has, which is cool. The Asia section is a little bit small for my liking, but also, you know, they have to sell what sells. Their second-hand area is also a really great treasure trove, in my opinion. I've picked up like rare books, which when I try and buy them online elsewhere, they're like 30, 50 quid. I've picked them up for a few pound. I think this copy of Mao's Selected Works, I believe, are from there. I got it for like £3 or £4 online. It's about £20, so pretty good. I know Malcolm X Speaks is there. There was a really nice edition of Malcolm X Speaks that I wanted to pick up, but my bag was just full. I didn't have a backpack with me, and I was going out later. I was like, I'm not going to buy anything, and then it was gone because it was like £2, but it was a really good edition. But they also have like kids books. They have a decent sports section actually. So does Houseman's. They've got a decent sports section. It's more so like radical sports stuff, or at least politics and sports. So I got a pamphlet on the apartheid cricket tour, which is really interesting from there. So there's a wide array of stuff. There's more like newer stuff as well, slightly more popular stuff. I wouldn't call it like popular stuff, but stuff that's a little bit more mainstream, but also left wing there as well. They sell really nice pins as well. I think tomorrow, the day this goes out, it's going out on for the 15th of Saturday the 15th, sorry. On the 16th, they're doing an auction. I can't go because there's no trains going into London where I live, but they're doing an auction of some of their books. So if you're in London tomorrow or today, you should go and check that out, that auction of some books. I wish I could go, but I can't. But again, Bookmarks is my favourite bookshop. Again, it's near the theatre district. It's near Shaftesbury Avenue. You can basically walk there from Shaftesbury Avenue. You can walk there from Tottenham Court Road. It's about a 5-minute walk from Tottenham Court Road station. Then you can go and get really nice Thai milk tea nearby. I think it's called Thai Cup. I can't remember. You can walk to like the more anime shops. They're like 5 minutes from there as well. There's an Oxfam bookshop nearby Bookmarks. I think it's like across the road as well. If you want to go there as well, it's a second-hand bookstore. You can pick up stuff there. So it's a nice, and it's an area of London. Again, people will go and visit. It's near the British Museum, so it's an area of London where if you're visiting London, you're probably going to be there anyway. So you can pop into Bookmarks as well. Very quick honourable mentions: Judd Books is another bookstore near King's Cross. It's just the other direction to Houseman's. I like Judd Books. There is a lot of books there. It's just, I think because there are so many books and the way it's laid out, it's difficult to find stuff. But I think if you search hard enough, you'll be able to find some really cool stuff there. But there's a lot, which is, it's not in my top 3, but there's a lot there. The other one is, there's one on a boat. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Books on the Water. Never been there. Whenever you're on TikTok and you're looking for bookshops, this always comes up because it's a bookshop on a boat. I mean, that's pretty cool. I've never been, so I can't talk about it, but it's always included on top bookshops to visit in London. There you go. I'm not mentioning Daunt Books for a reason. It's Daunt Books. I have my own reasons for not promoting it, but if someone's going to inevitably be like, you didn't talk about Daunt Books. Yeah, it's Daunt Books. It's pretty inside, I'll give them that, but I'd rather you go to the independent booksellers. Those are my 3 favourite bookshops in London. Thank you for watching. This is more like an updated version of this video that I made maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago. I love these bookshops. Please go and visit them. If you are going to be buying books, do try and support independent booksellers. They are so key to our communities. They oftentimes have books that big retailers will not be selling. And we need places that are going to sell these books, particularly like these left-wing radical bookshops as well. So go and check them out. I think most of these places offer student discounts as well. I definitely know Scuba does, because I was there yesterday. I'm pretty sure Houseman's does, and I think Bookmarks does. But if you are a student, always say, hey, do you do a student discount? You'll get a decent percentage off. So go and support these bookshops. Talking about support, shout out to my members. Members get early access to videos, they get extra bonus videos, they get extra access to ideas I have, they get to influence the content I make, they get to influence the thumbnails I make, they get announcements before everyone else, they get to be part of the book club we've launched on this channel. So if you want to become a member, it's £2 a month. I don't think that's ever going to increase. So for £2 a month, you get all of those perks, you get special badges, you get special emojis, you get to be part of a fun little community with them. Hey, if you're interested, £2 a month, become a member. If not, and you've reached this part of the video, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you read a great book today.